actually expecting a pretty steady rain throughout today here in Jacksonville at TIAA Bank Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Jacksonville Jaguars. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
Let's go. Keep it playing. Right there, 54 miles. Pick me up. Here we go. Check that.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's 2nd down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback.
And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 46 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A former Seminole back home in Florida. It's Dalvin Cook. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Check 48.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
3rd and short yardage. Cousins nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Miles Jack with a sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. That's it. I can't believe they let you play.
Now Stewart on 1st and 10. He completes it to Westbrook. 33 yards that time. The previous play, big on the ground. That one big through the air. Things have jumped up quickly.
Certainly appears that whatever their thought process is on the defensive side of the ball, they're one play behind. You know, loaded up for the pass, they hit them with the run. Loaded up for the run, they hit them with the pass. They've got to get in sync.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
He's already scored once. He definitely had his eyes wide open trying to get in there a second time, but I thought that was a really nice play defensively to deny him.
Yeah, it was, as you said, keeping him away from his second first-quarter touchdown there. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. So backed up to the 6 now, 3rd and goal. He's able to find Wallace. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. From 6 yards away. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Well, they have to be loving this start to the first quarter.
Well, the way that they're going, I mean, you're talking about 2 touchdown drives already. They feel very confident and feel like they have all the answers in this game. They're 1 point away from going up 14-0. Maybe they press the advantage and go for 2.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and
3
now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Gun. Hey, check. Mike 50. Yellow.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Flush to his right. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw it right into it for an interception.
Check it out.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A great play there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. And again, it's no good. A a few boo birds coming out as he's missed his second extra point here in the first half. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They run again on first down. Cook. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. There for the tackle, the former Wisconsin Badger, Leon Jacobs. Throwing on second down, Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
The Jaguars take over first and 10.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Off-play action. Stewart. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And now off to the races. Down the right side. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability, as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
The Vikings take over first and 10.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Now Cook running right. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Cousins now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Like a freight train off the edge, Calais Campbell with a sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. 51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
On the double. 54, right there. 54 Mike. Oh, here we go. Oh.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
No such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something. Blitz coming, and down he goes. That's Yannick Ngakoue with a sack. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on second and goal? Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook, but now it's third and goal.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here? Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there.
Third and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
The kick by Rambo is good, and that will extend their lead even further. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for three. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. Cook following the penalty. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A first down there on a pickup of 25. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Cousins. Complete. Smith has it. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Alexander Madison. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Oh, and he pulled it right. It's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
the kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Looking to throw. Stewart. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving them up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Finding his way home for the sack that time, Taven Bryan. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Throwing is Cousins. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. It's going to be difficult to dig out from under.
And for sure they can't afford anymore at this point.
Keep playing.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Here's Stewart on 1st down. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A big play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And it's no good. Oh, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. Back now in Jacksonville. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Cousins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon.
Good job.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. To throw, Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Hey, Charlie.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Come get it. He don't want it. Hey, Mike 50, Mike 50, Mike 50.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Cousins. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
The gain of 7 brings up 2nd and 3.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Danielle Hunter able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
It's now 3rd down.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Watch 54. Watch 54.
To throw is Stewart on 3rd down. Looking long for Westbrook. Well, he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. Here's Logan Cook now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And this will be taken at the 13. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Then his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 39. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing. Feels
to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some 1st downs, just as good as running the football. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon. The Jaguars on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Back to throw. Stewart. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Stewart now throwing on 1st down. His throw incomplete. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. That one looks like he'll throw here. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Right there, 54 Mike. Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day, all day. Go. 54 is Mike, 54 is Mike. Check, watch 54, watch 54. Exit.
Stewart from the gun, he'll throw. This one complete to the tight end, O'Shaughnessy. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now Stewart operating from the gun. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Lambeau on for the extra point. Oh, and he pulled it right. It's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a 1st down due to the previous penalty. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Here we go.
Left 50, left 50. 49, check 49, check 49. Hey, check. Protein spill. Where's the hot?
That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Bravo.
Here's Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Yeah, this will get him all the way inside of Jacksonville's 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Big stop, G.
Going on the ground with Madison and trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. On second and goal, Cousins. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. First and second down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So on 4th down here, Mike Tomlin says, let's just get 3. And his kick is indeed good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So despite the huge deficit, they're going to keep fighting. Here comes the onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds. So unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. Very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48.
Check.
Looking to throw. Stewart. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. He was looking for James O'Shaughnessy as tight end, but it'll be 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go.
Here's Stewart. Going to throw again. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the